We're recording. You want to do the intro since it's my video? Fuck you. Start off.
Mom.
Nice. All right. Welcome back, guys, to the welcome back.
Fuck your mom. Fuck your mom.
Welcome back to the But Did I Ask podcast. Today we are here with myself and Justin. Justin, say hello.
No.
Okay, so today we are going to essentially just be talking about the most recent events that have been occurring.
Shut the fuck up. Everyone shut up. This is the most important thing. Who gives a shit about anything else going on right now? I moved my setup.
Speaking of the But Did I Ask podcast, I'm so glad that everybody's back. Can everybody in the comments type what timestamp they actually asked? Thank you. Okay. Congratulations, though, to Justin. He actually did something productive with his life while he's been on break. In between, this guy fucking graduated from high school, and now he's off to starting out his life. Just, you know,
as an Auschwitz survivor. I'm just kidding.
Quick intermission. Justin, talk about yourself and what's going on in your life.
Literally nothing. Oh, biggest thing. Okay, listen. If you look in that beautiful description down there, it's really beautiful. If you really hate this guy and don't want any more of him, go find more of them down in the description. My channel has started. I've started YouTube. If you want highly edited content and some non-edited sweaty content, go check it out down below. I have an intro video and I have Golf with Your Friends. It's me playing with him, and it's just highly edited. It's really funny, or that's the feedback that I've got. So go check it out, and if you don't, I'll do bad things. That's enough. Dude,
okay, anyways. Yeah, I'll put his channel down in the fucking description below.
You'll forget.
I will probably forget, but if anybody wants to check it out, it is J Kettner, no spaces, capitalized JK, and then lowercase Etner. Outside of that, this guy is literally about to start one of the biggest chapters of his life. I'm very excited for him. I have high hopes.
Fuck. I'm terrified.
This guy's nervous for college because he thinks that all of his money is just going to be sucked by all of the professors. He's going to get sucked by professors when he... I'm just kidding. Okay. But outside of that, today we are going to cover a couple topics. We're going to keep it pretty brief. The first one that we are going to cover is a very, very touchy subject. I know that we are both men and we are white men, so nobody gives a shit about our opinions. But, hence the essence of But Did I Ask? Anyways,
we look like white supremacists right now. We're both wearing white clothes, bro.
Oh,
holy shit.
I got the white cap too. I'm just kidding. Anyways, okay. We are going to talk about what has been...
I just realized what you said. Holy shit. That's fucked.
We are going to be talking about what I just typed. I don't know what just came up on my thing, but
this is what happens when you download porn.
Fuck shit.
Viruses.
Overturning Roe v. Wade. So that is what we are talking about to start it off today. We're going to keep our opinions.
Actually?
Yes, we're starting it off with Roe v. Wade.
I'm just kidding.
So it is something that is very, very touchy because, in my opinion, I feel like what they have effectively done by overturning Roe v. Wade is they are taking rights away from women in a large manner. And I think it's not good, and it's not good just at all. I think the biggest issue is that a lot of people are making it a religious thing, like a religious standpoint. So, like, if you're Christian, most Christians don't necessarily agree or stand by the morality of having abortions. And I think the biggest issue that I see is, this is coming from somebody who's a Christian, but not particularly religious. I don't really care. I think the baseline of what it needs to be is that women get a choice. And I don't think we should be the ones dictating that.
Here's my thing. In our Constitution, it literally says freedom of religion. And us Christians enforcing that enforces our views of our religion on other people.
Yep.
And I don't care what you say, but no matter what, people have different views, different knowledge, different opinions on religion. Therefore, everyone has a different religion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whether because you have a different understanding than somebody else, you have a different opinions. Personally, in the Bible, I don't believe that somebody has lived over 1,000 years. And that's just my opinion, because I don't think that's scientifically possible, or I don't think that's scientifically possible. What I do think is they misinterpreted it. Maybe it was just two different people. I don't know, but or multiple different people. But I think there's errors in the Bible, but that's a whole different thing for another episode. But in our Constitution, it literally says freedom of religion. When you don't give people a choice, you're limiting their thoughts and opinions. You know, if they don't want to follow the Christian way of, you know, not killing fetuses, well, that's their choice. They can kill them if they want. And I think the biggest thing for me is we have such a small chance of being here anyway, right? And you know, if these pro life people are just, you know, so crazy about it, then I better not see you ever, you know, busting a nut anywhere other than inside of somebody. And, you know, like, you just have such a small chance. And yeah, abortions decreases those chances, but I mean, I don't think I can consider something, obviously in the Bible you're being made, but I do agree with that. But, you know, if somebody doesn't want to, you know, follow what I believe, I'm not going to sit here and enforce on them, because that is not my place, and it's literally written in the Constitution.
And I think that the biggest issue that I'm seeing with this is that it offers up, like, what it says right here in a historic and far-reaching blah, blah, declaring that the constitutional right to abortion upheld for nearly a half century no longer exists. You are removing the right to choice, and I think that is a substantially negative thing. And in that same sense, you're making abortions illegal because you're pro-life or, you know, whatever. But then you're going to say that masturbation is completely okay. Like, I think I was kind of understanding what you were saying. That, like, in that same sense, life also has to start with a man, you know, in certain aspects. And if you are masturbating, you are throwing away existing potential life. And so then why don't you make masturbation illegal? If you're going to take away the right for women to have a choice in something, why don't you take away the right for men to have a choice in something? And on top of that, why does it fucking matter whether or not, like, in my opinion, I don't particularly stand with abortion. I think that, okay, that's a lie. I don't particularly agree that it should be the option always. I think that in extreme situations, it should be an option, and a considerable one, you know, and things that I'm going to say, you know, trigger words here, so just warn yourself. Or, you know, you have been warned, but in extreme situations, like where somebody has been raped, somebody, you know, that's one of the biggest ones. I can't really think of. I had one in mind, but I don't know. I can't remember what it was. The biggest one is if somebody's been raped, right? Let's say a 14-year-old girl molested and raped, whatever, she gets impregnated. That should definitely be a situation heavy enough to defend an abortion. They should not be responsible for taking care of a life that they didn't choose to make. Now, I think that if you are consciously choosing and consenting to sex with your partner at a normal age, you should then have to reap the results of what comes out of that. And if that is childbirth or pregnancy or whatever, that's how it happens. Now, it may not be my favorite thing, but I also don't disagree if somebody else wants to do it. So maybe I personally, individually, would not be okay with something like that happening, you know, an abortion being an option. But for somebody else, I absolutely fully defend it. So that's why I can't say I don't not defend abortion, because if somebody else and they choose to have sex, but then right after their partner gets pregnant and the girl wants to decide on an abortion, be my guest. I'm not going to be angry at you. I don't, like, your decisions are your decisions. And that's why I think it's fucked up that we've gotten to a point now that I feel like we're reversing back in development as a country. We're going further back to the point where you are taking rights away from women and essentially stating that we get to decide and dictate what happens with their bodies. And I think that is completely wrong, and that shouldn't be the case. That's effectively all that I have
and
to
I've
say
heard
on
that
it.
they want to get rid of like contraceptives, and even like the state of Texas has even like asked the Supreme Court to take away trans rights. Like, Jesus Christ,
It's
guys!
fucked. Like, I'm sorry,
listen,
but
I don't know what's going on in Texas, but it's brutal. Yeah, like I don't know, like there's such differences in this country that just it's horrible. Like I don't even how like we call ourselves the United States of America, but we can't agree on anything. And there's no middle ground either. It's either you're extremely left or extremely right, and like that gets into it, like just how fucked America is, and we'd probably make an episode on that later. But I mean, for now, that I think that decision was horrible.
And I think that, I mean, obviously I'm not the most educated on it. I feel like I could probably read a lot more. I don't know specifically like what states are enacting on this, you know, decision or, you know, whatever. I don't know specifically who is following through with, you know, the constitutional right to choice on that. But I still think that, like, if I had the ability to, I would support anybody. I feel like it's really good that certain companies and certain states and certain, you know, people and whatever are stepping up to stand by women in this, because I definitely think that when it comes down to it, it should be their choice, and that's all it needs to be. I don't care what I have to say. Like, obviously I think it's important for, like, let's say I'm in a relationship with a woman, I get her pregnant, now she has to make the decision of keeping the child or not. I think that it may not mean that the man has a choice in the situation per se, because it is her body, you know, etc. But I do think that it is at least a respectful connotation to include your partner in the decision. Don't just step past your partner, not say anything, and go and get an abortion. I think that is fucked up. I think that you should at least inform your partner and have a conversation about it.
That's the thing though. Like, sex is so common these days and just so unsacred that it's just nobody gives a shit anymore. Like, if
people don't appreciate what it like how it actually happens and what it actually stands
and I think
for.
it's way too common these days, and for how common it is, we haven't put enough research into contraceptives that are 100% effective. Like, a condom can break, you know, all these things, an IUD can break, all these things can happen, but we haven't made something that can just completely 100% get rid of it. I think that's a big issue as well. And I also think part of the issue is, you know, there's so many people having sex these days. Like, holy shit, how does not everyone have a fucking STD?
And honestly,
or an STI?
One of my biggest things is, if you're gonna say that abortions are illegal, then why don't you like step past that and not be taking away rights from people, and just make fucking vasectomies a requirement prior to or fucking my brain just stopped.
Pop off.
Why don't you make vasectomies a requirement for men? So then you just avoid the option of having a child until your partner wants you to reverse your vasectomy, because they're reversible, and then you have the time to choose if you want a child. Like, I just don't understand. I think it's fucked that rights have been taken away, and I don't think that men, or, you know, fucking the argument that's been going around fucking TikTok and Twitter and whatever is that old white men are controlling the country still, and we're reversing back in time. And honestly, kind of agree.
Old white rich men.
Yeah, old white rich men are fucking ruling the world and making the decisions for everybody else, and I don't think it should be that way. But that's our quick take on the Roe v. Wade thing. If if you guys want more opinions on that, we can go into a more in-depth thing later on. But I just think that it should be the woman's choice, and that's the baseline. Like, obviously, the decision has been made.
Listen, enough with this fucking phony gas. Okay,
the most fucking important thing. I'm just kidding. We really need to talk about gas prices. What the fuck is going on here? I don't want to have to pay a fucking arm, a leg, my left nutsack, and like 3 of my teeth to afford 1 week of gas. What is going on here? And I know that the like common argument is that that like, oh, the president's fucking responsible. Like, it's not entirely one-sided responsibility per se. Now I think that honestly, We all just need to band together. Don't fucking buy gas, and then they'll be forced to drop the prices. That's all I'm saying.
you
It's
need
happened
to.
before. No, I'm saying like choose a specific time frame for all of us to not purchase gas, and that will
But how
substantially
long
drop.
can you go without gas?
Fuck it, I will walk to work. I don't care how far I have to walk. I will walk to work.
But there are people like in fact, like my mother that have to drive an hour to work. She
then
needs gas.
buy gas way ahead of time, and then set yourself up for a time frame where purchases are not being made across the country, so that they are
So you
forced
want to just
to
fill
drop.
5-gallon things and just buy 80 of those and just
Yep, buy it way ahead of time so that during a portion of like 3 to 5 days, that time frame, they're not making any benefit for the from the general populace.
like that. I don't know. I just don't think that's possible.
I don't think it's a
'cause you're not
perfect
gonna-
solution. I think the perfect solution is to fix our fucking country, but do we really think that's going to happen?
Well, we need to make laws because we need. Listen, we need those companies. To
Legislation needs to be put in place that you should not be able to lift gas prices over a certain
limit,
certain mark.
or like oil companies need to fucking start producing oil and not just save this up and boost the prices. Get fucked, losers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sorry, but dude, gas prices are so fucking expensive. I'm putting a down payment on a fucking house every week to drive to
Now,
work.
But I will say presidents do have somewhat of an influence.
Yeah.
Biden stopping that gas line.
Now, like, if I
really
wanted
dumb.
to look it up, why are gas prices so high? Like, if I wanted to get a general consensus per se, and it may not be the most accurate, so don't take what I'm looking at. I just turned into a fucking ghost. Don't take what I'm saying perfectly as, fact, but I think the biggest issue that I've noticed is that, like, obviously if we are having issues with oil production and such, the more expensive that becomes, the more expensive gas becomes, and that could be a huge issue as to why. But honestly, like, I'm just not down for it. I'm about to switch to an electric vehicle.
And I think,
fuck
I think because electric vehicles are so downright useless. Because, well, I'm not saying like Teslas are useless, but they take a while to charge. If I need to get to work now and my vehicle is low on battery, oh well, shit.
I think another
sit there
big
and wait
issue
for
is
30
that
minutes.
they also take way more resources to produce prior to use of the vehicle.
And I think what we need to do is a slow, extended research campaign / like conversion over to green. Because not only are we saving the environment, if you believe in that, but imagine if we didn't have to rely on gas. You know how much of a how powerful we would
I want
be as
horses.
a country.
I just want to be pulled by fucking horses everywhere.
No, but hear me out. Like, do you understand like how powerful we could possibly be? It'd be hard as shit, and you need a lot of research to find like battery powered fucking jets and shit. But I think jets could be the exception. Like war vehicles could be an exception. But like for day-to-day vehicles, let's do a shitload of research right now. We just get that out of the way to make them affordable. Then everyone could buy them and make them reliable as well. So
you know what the biggest issue is coming down to right now? The USA. Okay, anyways.
And
honestly,
Russia, you see this country called Ukraine? Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah, honestly though, not. We need Tesla to save Tesla. We need Elon Musk to save us. He'll be the one to create. Do you think he would be the one to create like green fucking effective green energy and shit?
Well, I think the problem with green energy is just like it's expensive. I think it's effective, but expensive. Like solar panels, I think, yeah, they're not going to get as much done as like coal burning.
Do you think he could perfect the efficiency though? Like to a point where it is a lot
more
alone,
no, but I think he could make a team potentially. But I think you just need a lot more people going into that field, which the new generation, we're getting more people that believe in climate change, and so that's pretty good, so that we have more people going into that field. I think I met somebody at my college orientation that's going into that field. Go you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, honestly though, I fucking hate the gas right now and it drives me nuts. I don't want to go fill up my tank again because like I think the issue, you remember that video that you sent me on TikTok The guy was
Nope.
like, you need to fucking raise wages and shit, and you need to like obviously fucking set things in place that, you know, keep it to where companies can't just fucking rise gas prices like fucking astronomically high.
I don't remember that TikTok, but go off.
Okay, well yeah, I think that's the baseline in my opinion. Just fucking create caps legally so that we can't get fucking extorted for all of our money.
Like, I think $3 has got to be the limit. Like, because fucking shit. But other than gas prices, you're gonna say this, just a little thing. Congrats, Johnny Depp. You did good.
Yes,
Get fucked,
I just
Amber.
wanted to quickly, I wanted to quickly include the successful case on Johnny. I'm very glad that he came out on top on that one, and kudos. Hopefully his career can go back to what it used to be, and Amber Turd can fucking slowly float to the bottom of the ocean.
Fucking net worth of -6 million.
I would love to, dude. Imagine being in those shoes of having a negative fucking multi-million net worth.
And she's not gonna act anytime soon, so
and nobody's gonna want to fucking hire her. If somebody hires her, we boycott everything. Yep. Everything needs to be boycotted. Okay.
Take down that movie.
Our final topic of today. Oh, I forgot what it was for a second.
How dare you?
How dare you? Well, it's kind of sad that I forgot what the topic was because it's a very important one.
Cancel him. Twitter. Open your fucking phone. Go to Twitter at him and fucking cancel him. He's a piece of shit.
Recent school shootings and school shootings as a whole, and just shootings in general.
What do you think needs to be done?
I think what needs to be done is, I think that gun laws need to be made a lot tighter than they currently are. And I know that they are very tight already. Now, I don't necessarily know how I feel about the idea of eradicating all firearms as a whole, because it's just in the same mentality as I'm going to make this illegal. The bad people will continue to do it regardless of whether or not you make it legal. So if you remove guns, people will still find ways to accomplish their mission. So I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. I'm kind of in the middle on that one.
I got a hot take.
Yeah, go for it.
The reason our founding fathers made it the right to bear arms was obviously for leisure activities like hunting, but mostly because they just got out of a revolution. They just got done fighting a war against a tyrant. Hear me out. Guns these days aren't going to do fucking jack shit against our military unless a part of our military started, revolting back. But if there was an all-powerful tyrant saying, oh, you can't do that or else I'm going to kill you, then I don't think they're going to back. But listen, a fucking AR is not going to stop the jet. I'm sorry. What everyone deserves is like a pistol, hunting guns, like shotguns. But there should be no more than 6 to 12 rounds in that damn gun. And any gun that you are selling anywhere.
And even then,
is stupid.
I think on top of that, gun laws literally need to tighten up so tight that not every person can acquire a firearm.
Right.
I know that people are going to be like, oh, well, you're taking my gun rights away. But originally, when that was written, like Justin is saying, I think what he's implying is that the issue is, it was set in place so that there couldn't be any tyrannical uprisings of anything. Like if the government wanted to fucking backfire on its own country and shit on its populace, we're not stopping that anymore. If our government wanted to turn fucking suit on us, or, flip suit and fucking poop on the entire country, our government and military is not being stopped by fucking Jerry, who has a hunting rifle in the middle of fucking Ohio. Like,
and my question is, why are we selling ARs? Why is that on the market anywhere? We need to okay, first off, if you have one of those, get a refund. Sell them. We need to fucking go get people that we have documented that have those guns, take them away. Yeah. I'm sorry, but you should not be having a weapon that has more than 6 to 12 rounds. I think that's ridiculous. Yep. Nobody needs that.
And like
I
I
don't
understand
care
that
who
some
you
are for
are.
self-defense, but like I don't need an AR for
Well,
self-defense.
a pistol.
A
A
handgun
pistol is
does the
perfect.
job.
Like a handgun will keep you safe.
Yep.
You do not need an AR to defend your home. I
No,
promise.
you really don't. And I think a lot of one of the a bigger issue is that there's a large essence of it could be potential mental health and upbringings of certain individuals as to why they end up doing these committing these, what's the word,
Atrocities.
atrocities. There we go. My brain fucking stopped. Committing these atrocities. I think a large portion of it comes down to the mental health of those certain individuals, because I don't think some of the most sane people are going to be going and making those choices. And I saw this argument that was like a lot of it just happens, and it's not a racial thing. I know I don't like really making it a racial thing per se, but it just happens to be that a large majority of it is white men. And there was this argument that was like, well, you don't see these type of things happening, large school shootings where there's the heavily gang affiliated you know, people in those. Like, let's say you take a high school, there are certain areas where there are gang members that do exist in those areas, and there are gang members that exist inside the schools, but you don't see any of those people shooting up the school just because. You see people like I don't know some of the I'm not gonna like reference some of the most recent ones because I don't know the individual facts per se. Um, but I'm sorry, I think there needs to be a big lockdown on. We need to try to figure out why the mental health development is where it is at, where certain people are making these choices.
And part of it is healthcare in
Yeah.
general. I mean, if you want a therapist, that's going to come out of your pocket, and some
Mhm.
people just straight up can't afford therapists.
Yep.
And I think more people need to go into that field, and just we need to put more and more funds into that field.
Yep.
I'm going into that field. I'm not saying I'm going to sit here, I'm going to fucking stop, all these atrocities, but I plan to save lives.
Yep.
Mental health is too ignored, and people are too shitty to each other these
Yep.
days to not, like, anything you do is just going to get criticized.
Mhm.
And I think you find that out when you hit high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people, first off, stop being shitty to each other. Stop being a dickhead. Your ego is up here. It needs to be down here. We need to have less narcissists and just more mental health awareness. When I'm going to call out my fucking school. Somebody killed themselves this year.
Mhm.
And the only thing they did was put up signs of awareness and put up a little poster board for like a month.
Mhm.
That's it. And let people get out of classes for her
Mhm.
wake, obviously. That's it. No big push, no big strive for I was pissed.
I think one of the
I
biggest
was
issues
pissed.
is we shouldn't be waiting until after it happens to try to bring awareness. We should be pushing for solutions to solve the issues prior to it happening, so we don't have to put up a sign about mental health awareness. We shouldn't be pushed to the fact, and same with like school shootings. We need to find a solution somehow and not just push all this shit under the rug. We shouldn't just be bringing it up in news outlets and like high media frequent outlets just so that people can see the tragedies and then ignore the tragedies and not find fucking solutions. Find something that solves the issue so that we don't have to be holding funerals for 10-year-old children because some maniac decided that they were going to take multiple lives, or if they were going to go down, they're going to bring everybody else with them. That shouldn't be how it is. And that's just,
and it also shouldn't be how it is that somebody spirals into that maniac
Mhm.
mentality either. That person should have
yeah.
just been fine. But I mean, everyone's just like, oh, it's their problem. It's the maniac. They were born that. No, nobody's born that way.
No,
Yeah.
they are created and they develop into what they've become, and we need to like kind of try to hone in on why
And it all
that
dumbs
is.
down. It all dumbs down, in my opinion, to shitty parenting, shitty uprisings, and shitty people surrounding that human being.
Yeah.
So stop being bullies, stop being child abusers, and stop being shit parents.
Yep.
And fucking learn. Like, I don't know how many deaths need to happen or how many shootings need to happen, but mental health needs to go up.
Yeah.
And until we can do that, we have to get rid of the triggers. And that's your consequence. If you don't want to sit here and not fucking and bully him or her or abuse that child, fine. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna take away the trigger because I'm fucking sick of all that shit.
Yeah.
Get fucked if you are an abuser, if you're a bully, or if you think we need automatic weapons.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. But I think that kind of sums up our stances on things that have been happening recently. I do think, just for everybody's information, that this will become a kind of a series that we will do, and we will reapproach these things at later dates once, you know, more world events have happened. We'll kind of just do like you know, recaps of certain time frames depending on what's going on, and if something huge happens, we might, you know, come back and add more to the series. But
Johnny Depp movie?
Johnny Depp recast it as Captain Jack Sparrow. Please, for the love of God, I would suck so many people off for that to happen.
I don't think he'd do that because he hates Disney now.
I think he does, and honestly,
so.
Disney has been doing so many bad things and so many good things at the same time. I just don't.
They're just bipolar.
Yeah, they are extremely bipolar on whether or not they want people to hate them or love them. But outside of that, today it has been Justin and I on nobody fucking cares about our opinion. But yeah, it was interesting. I think it'll be good for us to come back to this if anything huge happens in the world. But America, please stop fucking up. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Peace.